Hello florists and flower lovers, and welcome! My name is Mike Boerma, one of the teachers at the Boerma Instituut. We try to do live streams every other week. This video is the edited version of one I did recently. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Boerma Instituut here in Aalsmeer, Holland. I'm going to make 3 arrangements today. One is a Handtied Bridal Bouquet that I've already started the base off a little bit. Another one is a foam-free arrangement using tubes. And then I'm going to make a big event design arrangement. So what have I got here? I have some ivies that Amog harvested from our garden. Then we have some branches from a tree that I've used. It's one of our trees in the yard. We have Pistacia here. And I put this branch on a thick wire, the 1.8mm stub wire. And then I have these gorgeous Proteas here, and they serve as the base, and from there on out I'm going to build. It's going to be a very big asymmetrical bouquet, and I'm really excited to start with it because we have very lovely materials for this. Another thing I want to note is that these leaves are drooping a little bit, but that's how they grow on the tree. And I bound it together with a little bit of tape to make it easier. I got peonies. Let's put in front of us what we have for today. Gorgeous dark purple peonies, very dark. It's a little bit difficult to see with the light here, but I think you can tell that they're very gorgeous. I don't want to use them all, just a couple. From our good friends at Vreeken Bouvardia, some beautiful Bouvardias. These are one of my favorite flowers, definitely I think top 3 even. I think they have these interesting alien-like look almost, but they're also romantic in a way. They start out as little squares and then they open up, and you can see how large this head is. This is just one stem. I've seen other Bouvardias out there. They don't get this big, but these are definitely very good quality. So I'm going to use them. I'm not going to use them all for this one. I got a little bit excited. Then we have Matthiola. Summer flowers has these. Some more Protea. Well, maybe just one. Maybe use the other 2 for another arrangement. We got poppies over there. So Papaver would be the Latin word. I think these are also gorgeous. Some big-headed Chrysanthemum, very lovely. Some beautiful, beautiful garden roses. Oh, I have one standing up there, awkwardly. I have my hand-type bouquet here, standing ready for me to continue. I want to make this bouquet a little bit wild, so I will be having some stems higher and some stems lower in this bouquet. I really tried to go for this boho kind of feel, this foraged flower look, which I don't do often, but I like to do it more often in the future because I really love that look. And people ask about it all the time, like, oh, how do you do this? Can we make it? Angelica?
A few people came in the chat room and I like to call out some names. We have Dunya, Angela, of course. Amy and Taiwan. We also have Atelier Mooi Bloem and also Sanjeev.
Hey, welcome everyone. Good that you are here. Kumiko-san, nice that you are joining us. Wenyu and the students and the teachers from Taiwan, very nice. I heard Angela was there. That's great too. Thank you for joining us again. Sanjeev, I heard. Yeah, that's also nice. Thank you. All right, awesome guys. Good that you are here. Maybe some people came in later, but this is a bridal bouquet hand-tied, and it's gonna be a big one. So for Dutch people, usually in the past, I think we like our bridal bouquets to be parallel tied, so that the stems are straight. But now with this more romantic-ish look that the boho gives, we need to make it a bit more round and have stuff jumping up and down. So that's why I'm going for this spiral-tied bridal bouquet this time. Not to forget, of course, these awesome Bouvardia. I'm really happy that you guys are here. It's fun. I look forward to this every 2 weeks. We can hang out like this together and we can create some designs and you can talk to us, and you know, there's a nice back and forth. If you have any remarks in between, feel free to tell me, or if you want to ask something, don't be shy. If you're here for the first time in the chat, that's also possible. We just are very open, so if you have a question, please feel free to ask, no problem at all. So again, I'm working with these height differences, and now I've just added a bunch of flowers, but we also have some greens. So I have some Pittosporum over here. I think that has this nice rustic feel. Then we have more of the willow that we were talking about earlier that we can put in there. Of course, be sure to clean all the stems so that when you put it in the water doesn't get too dirty. So then, of course, it's an asymmetrical bridal bouquet. So I have to start working here, but I also have to work here. Angelica.
We have a hello from Reed. And she's saying the bouquet looks already like her favorite bouquet. And Angela has a question, can you list the foliage used?
Yes, for sure. So we have Hedera, then I have Asparagus, Setaceus, hiding in between a bit. Then we have this beautiful branch in here, Pittosporum is in there, and then the willow. When I was preparing this bouquet earlier, I felt like I was lacking a little bit of some jumpiness. And then luckily, when I was walking outside, I saw this beautiful willow tree that is always there. It's not like it's a surprise or anything, but I never really noticed how the branches are growing down and how thin they are with their leaves and such. So I thought it would fit perfectly with this. Get some more pointy material in there. It's pretty important because this bouquet, it's all about in and out. So things are going tall, things are going deeper inside, and then also that means that our leaves also have to do the same. So they have to kind of jump in and out.
Question from Amy. The main reason to start the bouquet with a small bundle of materials, is it to make it easier to handle?
Good question, thank you. First off, yeah, that's one of the reasons. I think it's easier if you have sort of a base, especially because I have this branch in here, which is very heavy. I needed to have something that's bound already so that I can work around that and it doesn't move around all the place, because that's what happens when you're making a hand tied. But also because I was preparing and I didn't want to start completely from scratch, because there's only so much time in an hour to demonstrate, so I didn't want to completely do it from scratch. So I prepared and I taped, and then because I was happy at that point with how the shape was going, I did that. But of course also taping in between helps you out a lot, especially with these bigger bouquets. Sometimes your hand just needs a little rest. So then we can use the tape.
Question from Angela. Did you wire the branch?
Yeah, correct. I wired the branch, and I'll show you a little bit how I did that. So I wired it with the thick Gregor wire, 1.8 stub wire, the black stuff that comes from Wireman. But I believe we also sell it in our Floral Design supplies shop. So if you have difficulty with getting that sort of wire, then definitely you can buy it on in our web shop. And I wired it on 3 wires, which I combined together with the floral tape so that they didn't move around so much. And then I taped the branch to the wire. So I made like a T with the wire. So 1 wire this way, 1 wire that way. Actually 2 wires that way, 1 wire this way. Put the branch on top, put some tape around, wired the wire around to make it a bit stronger. I'll do a little tutorial on that, a simple one in the future, to show you exactly how that went. It's very simple actually. Maybe just by hearing what I just said, it already makes sense enough, I don't know. Or maybe what I say doesn't make any sense at all, which I hear sometimes, so it's nothing new. My apologies if that's the case. I am trying to get this puppy through a little bit because I want it to be in this exact spot so that we create this shape a little bit more. So I think with this, we are more or less there, but maybe just because I love these Bouvardia so much, I want to have them a little bit more in the bouquet. Of course, Bouvardia are excellent in bridal work, but they're also excellent in anything else. So I hear it from Vreeken that they are sold usually to make bridal bouquets, but you can make anything with them. And I'm going to show you event design and other types of design using these beautiful flowers. Hiding behind my bouquet a little bit, sorry about that. Last step, cut the stems straight. And then I'm making this bouquet because Reed asked last time I was doing the demo if I could make a bridal bouquet, or if we could make a bridal bouquet. So there you have it. That's your hand-tied bridal bouquet. Only thing left to do now is to hide the tape somehow. I could use ribbon, I could use this beautiful Oasis binding wire to do that, but I'll do that off screen. We'll use Angelica or Ammo as a model with this beautiful bouquet. So, and then maybe Ammo could come and collect this bouquet. Just I'm quickly showing you a little bit the asymmetry of it. It's kind of the Hogarth curve in there that I try to have coming out. Oh, actually, I was talking earlier that I was going to use these Gerbras, but I didn't use them. They could have been in there. I would have placed 2 in the front, 1 in the back, or the other way around. Angelica, you have a question.
Reed says bouquet for XXXL size bride, but very beautiful.
Thank you. It could be for XXL bride, but it could be for a smaller bride, and then it's just like a sea of flowers coming out of her hand, so why not? I think that's what's becoming popular anyway. And using enough foliage, we can do so with a lesser amount of flowers too. If you just use a nice variety of foliage, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but a nice variety of leaves we have to use. We're moving on to the next design. I didn't check if this is high enough or not. Whoops. So you cannot see, but we'll show in the photography. This is going a little bit higher. So I have 2 allium up here. That's the highest thing in the design. And that is coming back over here on the back side. This could be nice in an entrance to a hotel. And I want to keep this a little bit see-through. So I'm not going to put in too much flowers. It's going to be about the play of lines. So I have a rhythm going on with, for example, those 2 allium up there hidden. And then the 1 allium coming back there. Then I have color going from this side to that side. And actually, we could show it from the other side as well. So this is this asymmetrical triangle thing going on. We have 1 here. Oh, where do I put my face? We have 1 here and 2 here. And then we get this asymmetrical triangle thing. Angelica.
Angela and Reed are already saying wow.
Thank you very much. That's always nice to hear that people enjoy it. I made this actually, I remade this. This was a frame made by one of our students in a different shape using these grapevine from her friend who is the gardener. And it's all bound together by this Oasis binding wire. Very simple. I took the branches, bound them together, clustered them very strongly, and then I have these water tubes that I put on a longer wire. This is 1.8 millimeter wire. And now I have possibilities to go outside a little bit. Kind of what I did during my first demonstration. It's the same idea.
Question from Reed. Did you wire the color?
I didn't wire the color. They're just naturally in there. So these are loose. But what I did do was, for example, here, I have a piece of wire that you can see maybe here. And I have a piece of wire here, which I connected the allium with so that it doesn't flop around. I was not going to say flop around, but so that it doesn't, sway, let's put it like that, around in the arrangement. Then I like to create it into a bit more a romantic atmosphere, because now it's very empty. So now we are just adding these awesome Bouvardia to create a sort of focal area. It's not specifically just a focal point with 1 flower, but it's going to be multiple Bouvardia together, which create this pool of your eyes towards that point. And then when we put something over there, I want to make it come back somewhere else. We have this rhythm of 2 over there. Let's make it come back over here. So, and it doesn't always have to be 2 and 1. It can also be a couple more. And then we are just talking about group density. And I want to make that come back too on the other side. So here in the back, I put another little Bouvardia. Well, it's a huge Bouvardia, it's not little. Then some more romantic flowers. I have still these beautiful roses. The colors are like pinkish / purplish, but also going into this peach color. I really like this type of color combination because I feel like it's romantic. And then I have a little tube over here, probably a bit short. I do want to see a little bit of that stem, like that. And I try to not have too many flowers per tube. So there's a tube hidden somewhere in there. And of course the reusability of a design like this is very convenient. Let's see how it looks from the front. Come up there. I could actually use an extra tube. I can do that. I have tubes on wire over here. So let's see, we have a couple here. I'll just put a wire over here. And I always wire them on 2 points, because in that way we have some more stability, so it doesn't move around too much.
Question from Reed. How many tubes did you use in the frame?
Good question. I didn't count them, but I would say there's about 20-ish. I want this one to be quite short, because I wanted to play here. This could have been maybe a little bit more distant from each other, but oh well. Some more materials in there, so well, why not use those beautiful gerbras now? And I want them to play a little bit with their movement. Angelica?
Question from Mohammed. Can we consider this design vegetative?
I would actually not say this is a vegetative design. Why? There is a lot of things constructed, very made. Like this whole frame is pretty constructed. I would say it's more of a decorative design because there's also a lot of flowers happening. If there would be less flowers and just the lines, it could be considered linear. But I think it's more of a decorative type of arrangement. I'm trying to use the natural way that the gerbera is growing to position it so that I don't have to wire it. So I have to let this flower speak to me and say where it has to go. So like Karel says, what does Karel say? He said it like 10 times. He says, material decides.
Question from Angela. Do you wire and glue the binding wire on the tubes?
Actually, these are made by Amo. I asked Amo if he could wire some. I don't think there's glue on there, but you could use a little glue dot on there so that, you know, it doesn't move around too much. Then you're very sure that it's secure. But if you bind it very tightly, then it shouldn't be necessary. But of course, you know, if you need that kind of help, why not? Just do it as long as you don't see it.
May I ask, when you wire the tubes, you already have a picture of how the arrangement will look like?
When I put the tubes in there, some of them I placed with a thought like how I want to put my flowers. And some I just put in there randomly and then I think I'll just find something there. It depends, because I can't know for sure which flower will do what kind of movement in advance, because there's so many different random flowers. And I created this frame like in February already. So I didn't know for sure. But what I did know was that I wanted to have these allium here, 2 straight and 1 straight here, so that I can have something contrasting to all the movement that's going on here. So that's what I knew beforehand. Other than that, I knew that I wanted to have some play of lines going back and forth. So that's why I placed some of these tubes a little further out so that they can go through the frame, because I wanted stuff to go through the frame too. Maybe about 20% of these tubes I kind of thought about where I wanted to have them. The rest are kind of grouped, and then the rest I can always add later. So now I have some other tubes that I'm adding now as I go. When I find out I need some more movement, I want to have, for example, this gerbera, and I want to have a second gerbera doing something in that neighborhood. So I need to put another tube there. But it's all about that natural movement that the flowers make themselves, in this arrangement at least. Because it's not too much of a classical design in regards of I'm not putting these in a very strict way. I'm kind of letting them do what they want. We have some beautiful dark red lizzies, and some things have to go inside the frame too. I have something interesting, I think. I'm not sure if it's completely new on the market, but I think that Margin Par started selling them now. This is a Clematis. The flower is gone, and then this is what remains. I'm going to turn around this arrangement now so that you can see a little bit what I've been doing on this side. And then I can see now from this side also what I'm still lacking a little bit, and what I think I'm lacking is some nice big flowers. So for example, I could use a gerbera here and there, lower in the design. Maybe some Hypericum, why not? These are also from Margin Par, and they give this other texture that the rest of the flowers don't have, because they have this nice shining texture. And I make these come here and there. And also I will put it in here. Hypericum doesn't drink so much, so shouldn't bother it too much. And then after doing these couple of finishing touches, we are more or less there with this design too. So something completely different than the previous design. Still a bit romantic-ish, but it's like a totally different kind of design. Then I'll just turn it one more time to show you the placement. So there we go. So that's like that rhythm that I'm talking about. It's that 2 together, 1 over here, and then we have some coming back here and there. So then this one is done. We're moving it out of the way now, and then we're going to the third and last arrangement for today. But before I do that, I'll just show a little bit something that was made last night. Last night we had the professional course, the professional Dutch floral design course. Many of you who are watching right now know the professional course is the first level course that we have, and that's teaching all the basics of floristry, everything that you would need to know to be able to work in a flower shop, bridal work, funeral work, hand-tied bouquets, everything, so the fundamentals. The design that we did was a drop-shaped bridal bouquet, so a teardrop, but a teardrop sounds a little bit sad for a wedding. For a funeral arrangement we can call it a teardrop, but just a drop shape for now. And this one is a classical design, symmetrical, really one of the fundamentals of floristry, I think. Dianthus inside, so this beautiful Dianthus Antigua. I really like that one, the nice color variation. Then there is some peach-colored roses. There's some of the dried poppies that I've also used during the first demo. What's more inside this, there's the Hypericum berries I just used, and then we like to play with the variety of textures and colors to make it look interesting.
So Reed and Sindhu are giving a thumbs up, and Mohammed says, "Wow, lovely design, Mike. Thanks for inspiring me." Angela said that she wishes that she could do sign language.
Yeah, me too. Sorry about that, everyone. But we're back. So, in case you didn't hear it, thank you very much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. I'm glad it inspires you, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. It makes me really happy. Then, the third and final design. So, what do I have here? This is a design that I want to make pretty big, so that's why we put it on this pedestal here, and I hope I can get some length here. It's going to be a group design, and I want it to be nice and tall. Maybe it will be a bit too tall for on the screen right now, but that's okay. I will photograph it, of course, later. I have grouped greens, Monstera leaves, which everyone loves Monstera these days. We have it at home too. It's doing very well. It's not from us, it's just from the wholesaler. We can buy them, of course. Then we have Asparagus Meieri, that's the foxtail variety. Then we have Pittosporum grouped, and then we have Philodendrons Xanadu in the back, Pistacia, and then nobody tell mom, she's here, but I cut a little bit of the Ripsalis.
Atelier Mooi Bloem says it is a nice vase.
Right? Yeah. At first I went for another type of vase, but I saw this and I was like, okay, yeah, we cannot let that one stand. I have to bring it and show it to you guys, and then of course after this it will go straight to our place. Amma was so kind to go outside and cut some grass for me. Another reason why I put this as last is not because it's so big, but also because I'm allergic to grass. So I'm touching the grass right now. I took 3 pills just in case, but I really wanted to use it because it's so much in the season. If I start to sniff and make weird sounds, then you know why it is. This is the Oasis biodegradable foam that I've been using all the time in the demos. We really want to switch over to this. And yesterday, the representative of Oasis from the Netherlands, Willem Lautenbach, was here, and he came to talk. This is a product that's in development, as I was talking about all the time. It's 85% biodegradable, but their new version that is coming out now, it's 91% biodegradable. So they are really doing their best to make sure that at some point this is 100% biodegradable. So that's why we really appreciate them, that they are listening to the customers and that they are going for a more ecological type of material. So these are also just grasses that we foraged outside, nice and wild. I want to use them because I want to go very big in length, and with just flowers that is not possible for me right now because our flowers are maximum, I think 80 centimeters. I have Gladiolas that I will be using for this design, and they are that size. That's enough grass touched for now. Then I have these awesome Gladiola which I saw at the auction yesterday. They are pretty tall, big guys or girls, and I think they were very beautiful. They fit in with the color very much. They're kind of contrasting, of course, but that's what I like.
Question from Angela, is it vegetative?
I understand the question because I'm using natural materials like the grass, but no, it wouldn't be vegetative because I'm using Monstera leaves and they are very tropical, and then their grasses are from outside here, and then of course I'm using them in a way that they are not growing in nature, so it's not a vegetative arrangement in this case. This is just a plastic bucket inside this vase that I've put there, which was perfectly fitting in the diameter of this beautiful vase. Of course, I don't want to straight up work in this vase, so if you have a vase that you want to protect, want to take care of, you should put something else inside. If it doesn't fit perfectly to the diameter, you can stick in some styrofoam or something else first and then put something in it. So the styrofoam should be there to support it, make sure it's stable, and you can move it around. Of course, everything always ends up being a little bit different than you plan, so natural materials and all. But don't worry about it. I think that's enough Gladiola for now. And then we move on to the next material, which are these beautiful Celosia. I also really like those. They have such an interesting look. Nice and long. These are the Celosia with the little bit of yellow inside. There's of course lots of different color varieties. And when I use them, I look at the size. I want the smallest to be the tallest and the biggest to be the lowest in the design. And that pink color, because it's so bright, I'll let it come back on the other side. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, that's it. All right, but I hope it stays with this and then it doesn't creep up on us again. So what I was doing, I was placing the Celosia on the other side so that the color is coming back. Beautiful garden roses. They have this gorgeous green inside, which I love. Making a nice cluster of them over here, maybe a little bit further out. Super lovely. beautiful inside going all the way to the bottom, and I keep some of the leaves on there, which spares me of having to put in more foliage. Then I have some more lovely materials. Why not put some peonies in there that we have? And since this is an all-sided arrangement, I also want to have something beautiful on the back. Of course, we want to have every side equally as beautiful. I'll turn around the arrangement, of course, in a sec. I have these beautiful vandas from Ansu, brownish color, but also a little bit of purple. Amo was so kind to prepare this thing for me. These are just tubes on sticks, and we can use them inside our arrangement now. Cut it a little bit so that it fits inside how I want it, and then the other one facing the other direction. Crazy frog sound.
Question from Sindhu, is that a David Austin rose?
Hey Sindhu, good that you're here. Oh, is that a David Austin rose? No, it's not. I have to be honest and I have to say it's an Ecuadorian rose. They are kind of like the David Austin roses, though the David Austin roses, of course, are even more beautiful and they have a nice scent. The David Austin ones have a little bit more movement in them, and that's also why I like those so much.
Angela says, love the group's parallel design. Those peonies are striking.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, let's move it around a little bit so you can see the other side, because this side still needs some work. Why not some beautiful Bouvardias over here? And they bring some lightness to the base because it's very dark. So now when I'm looking at it from the back, I think I need some more grass.
How do you make the tubes for the banda?
Basically, it's the same technique as in the first demonstration. You can put a stick on a wire, you can put a stick on a drill, and then you can put a little bit of double-sided tape on ends, or you can use some hot glue, and then you can use the drill, and then you can go very fast like that. Spin the drill, and then on the other end of the stick, you put the tube, and then you bind it together, or some of those tubes, they come with a little hole inside and you can put the tube on the stick, and then it's already stuck. A little bit of hot glue and then bind around.
The tubes that you're using are already pre-made on a stick.
Okay, I don't think so. Is it so? Yeah. Oh, they also exist. All right, sorry. Well, but if you don't have them, then you can do it that way. Oh yeah, so Ansu has this product. My apologies. And we sell it in the shop, I hear my mother say. Ansu has these beautiful products. They have a lot of different products. They don't only have vandas, of course, so they have the tubes like we were just talking about, but they also have beautiful Hydrangea. They have more coming out. They have a lot of different things at the moment. They're broadening their horizons, which I think is a smart move. Of course, they're very smart people. I mean, they really know how to run a nice business. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on. Steve is a pretty inspiring businessman, but also a creative. Very high energy, always motivated. I feel like when I see him, that's nice to see. And I think that's with a lot of the growers that we know. They're very passionate. So for example, Vreeken Bouvardia, really kind people. They come here every now and then for Floral Fundamentals weekend, of course. But they're very kind, down to earth, have a big love for their product. Also a family business. I think that's lovely to see. So some more grasses on this side too. And then I have to do something there to cover up that part a little bit. Actually, I could put some moss there. So it's kind of wild, but still structured. We have some flat moss that Amo just brought me, and I think I will use that on the base. There's a little bit of a hole happening here. I actually don't really like this solution so much, and I had something prepared, which are the hydrangeas. Where did I put them? Oh, Amo is pointing at me. So yes. They're very visible, very vibrant. I don't know how I could miss them. Anyway, they're there for this precise purpose. And I can cut some of these gorgeous Ansu off. So I can use them, no, I don't have a buttonhole. I can use them later somewhere else. Then I'll just put a hydrangea here, stick it through the moss. Another one over here. There we go. So then we have some pop of color coming back to the bottom. So we have some contrast, bright, darker, some brightness over there, and some more on the other side as well. This is a pretty big vase design that you can do quite fast by grouping. So I hope that you like this one too. Well, if it makes you think of Hawaii or a resort, then that's positive. We can all go to our imaginary resorts in this summer vacation, I think. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. This was the third and last design. So if you liked this and you were not subscribed yet, please subscribe, because then you will see when we go live next time. Then you will see when I've put an edited version out, because I edit the videos every time. All right, thank you everyone. Thanks everyone for watching. See you. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it useful, feel free to recommend it to your friends. Thank you for supporting our channel. Next week, on July 3rd, Kyle's Schenk will be going live again. Be sure to click that bell button if you want to be reminded. Thank you for watching and keep on creating.